every one of the wins this season. They have been meaningful for the White Sox. But last night, just a little more special, especially being able to beat the Orioles the first time he's done that in his career.
Yeah, I think that anytime you go on the road after a successful homestand, and the Sox had one of those, you certainly want to start off the road trip on the right foot. And they were able to do it. Combination of making good solid contact, getting the occasional walk, and some very shaky defense on the part of the Orioles, who at this point are the second highest team in baseball in giving up unearned runs. And when you do that, it really doesn't help your pitching staff at all. And the Orioles looking for some wins also, but maybe when we're out of town.
Take a look at the starting lineup here for the Chicago White Sox. Sam Antonacci getting the night off. So Kyle Teal will bat in the leadoff spot for the first time this season. He's followed by Miguel Vargas. Andrew Benintendi, he is back. Had the night off last night. Colson Montgomery followed by Braden Montgomery. Mydroth Peters in center, Gonzalez at first, and Junior Perez gets the start in left.
We'll take a look at who the Orioles send to the mound. It's Trey Gibson on for his 7th start, his 8th appearance, his ERA up over 5.5. As you can tell by his strikeout to walk ratio, he doesn't throw the ball over the plate consistently, and the Sox are going to look to take advantage of that. He does have a couple of pretty hard folks. See that miles an hour backed up the slider and the cutter. Then he throws a 4-seam fastball, the curveball, and don't look for too many sweepers. So for him, if he throws ball 1, he usually has a problem.
All right, we're ready for baseball as Kyle Teal attacking that first pitch. With no Sam Antonacci, Will Venable feeling like Kyle Teal could fit in nicely here at the top. He was the leadoff hitter for the White Sox 3 times last season, and he was 0 for 10 in all 3 of those appearances. So, see if he changes stuff around here in 2026. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one is spiked.
Looked like Gibson kind of had his spikes caught on the mound, and consequently that front foot caught, and that ball landed way in front of home plate.
Gibson just 24 years old in his first season in Major League Baseball. And Kyle Teal in a good count here, 3 balls and a strike.
Gibson's a big guy at 6'5", 240 pounds.
As the curveball misses, so that Sox walk is presented by IDOT. You drive, you text, you pay. It's not a game.
Let's take a look at the defense and how they line up behind Gibson. It's Beavers, Cowser, and Taveras in the outfield left to right with Alexander, Henderson, Holiday, and Alonso. Samuel Basayo has got the plate, and he's had some challenges back there. We'll have to see how he handles Gibson tonight.
Oftentimes that cutter can be a little comfort pitch as Gibson gets it in there, strike 1 against Miguel Vargas. He has also been hot, a 7-game hit streak he brings into play here tonight.
Sun is very much a factor early, especially in right field. Taveras has got some very good speed out there. Cowser a couple of steps to the left of center. We saw how much ground he could cover last night.
Oh, 2 as Vargas chases that slider, strike 3.
The weather is presented by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. 89 degrees, humidity at 51%. That's not high for Baltimore, by the way, and the wind very much a factor, 13 miles an hour out to left field. So if the right-handers pull the ball, they should be in pretty good shape.
So 1 down, Andrew Benintendi steps in. And Benny should be fresh as Basayo couldn't squeeze that one.
And that would have been a pass ball, but problem was that Teal couldn't pick it up right away because that one went right through the legs of Basayo as it trickled away. His vision was blocked, so he stayed at first base.
I think he also got an assist from home plate umpire Mark Wegner. Benintendi rips it down the line in right field, and Teal reading that. He is off to the races. The windmill is on. Teal, they will wave him in. No throw to the plate. It's an RBI double for Andrew Benintendi, and the Sox strike first, a 1-0 lead.
That's 40 driven in for Benny. And that leadoff walk is going to kill you. So that's a breaking ball down. Benny goes to one knee and drives it into the corner. And this double's brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty. And then the ball gets trapped over there in the corner. And by the time he can come out and get it, Teal has already scored.
So good start for the White Sox as Colson Montgomery chases that high fastball.
That's a pitch he laid off of last night, and when he does that, he's really difficult to retire.
See the numbers in his second season: .221 batting average, 20 home runs. Next home run for Colson Montgomery will match his career high of 21 that he hit in the second half of last year.
Even with the wind blowing across, this is still a left-hand hitter's paradise. You have a scoreboard in right field, but it's not all that far away. And right center, line drives go out there.
Nothing but high heat as Colson Montgomery will strike out for out number 2. There's a guy, Trey Gibson, known for strikeouts. Last season in the minors, he led the Orioles starters and pitchers in terms of strikeouts. And that's why he got the call up this season.
He was our minor league pitcher of the year last year, so the arm is great. Question is command.
So Braden Montgomery moves up a spot in the order, as he will hit in the 5-hole here tonight.
That slider goes straight down, and he calls it his death pitch. But if he doesn't get it over the plate, not going to be a hitter's death, as you can see. I mean, it breaks quickly and does go straight down.
Is that common? Did you ever name any of your pitches?
No. I tried to name them strikes. Wasn't always successful, but that was about it.
You name your pitch, got to live up to the hype then.
It's true.
3-0. And a 4-pitch walk here to Montgomery.
With the young pitchers, this is a problem. Getting behind and then a couple of walks here this inning. It's only led to 1 run so far, but base hit here by Chase, and suddenly the lead looks pretty good early.
.277 batting average, 6 home runs for Chase Mydrop, as we have seen the increase in pop from his bat this season. But really this last week or so has kind of changed his approach to getting back on base more.
Yeah, although he can hit home runs, he's not a home run hitter, and he does himself a disservice when he thinks about that. There are certain situations and certain pitches when you can look at power, but more times than not, you want to put the bat on the ball. There's some great pitching matchups in baseball. Skubal and Schlittler. Tigers at the Yankees. That is a good one.
That may be the best pitching matchup we have seen in Major League Baseball this season. 2-time reigning Cy Young versus Schlittler, who is the front runner for the Cy Young this year.
He's been really good.
0-2. And you wonder how many more starts will Skubal have in a Tigers uniform this season.
Well, they were talking about it. It's no secret that the Tigers probably don't feel they can sign him long term. I don't think you can afford him to walk out the door and get nothing.
Nice job by Chase laying off that curveball, ball 2. Trade deadline is August 3rd, so there's still some time before things start to heat up. Up and in as Chase gets out of the way of that one. Can you believe that this is already the last day of June? How fast did this month fly by?
Well, this is game number 84. And when your team is playing well, it does move quickly.
Cutter missing down as Chase Mydroth will draw a walk. And that will load the bases.
That was a good eye by Chase because that one didn't miss by much. And so Drew French comes out early to talk to his very young and very erratic right-hander. He's walked himself into a problem. He's given up 1 run. He's walked 3. Now he's got to deal with Tristan Peters, who hits right-handers pretty well.
And who has also turned himself into a slugging machine. So a huge opportunity for the White Sox to make a statement in this first inning.
Mark Wegner's going to go out there and remind him that we got a day game tomorrow, so move this meeting along.
That's what you want to do for a young pitcher. Don't allow him to be comfortable on the mound, especially here in this first inning. As he has walked the last 2 batters, he's given up 3 walks already to start this game. Bases loaded, Tristan Peters takes a good rip at it, but on the ground to Holiday. And that will end the threat. White Sox get on the board, lead it 1-0 as Eric Fetty to the bump when we get back. Welcome back. Here is the starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. Gunnar Henderson, second time he is leading off in this series. Taylor Ward was the leadoff hitter, bumped down to the 2-hole. Dylan Beavers, Pete Alonso, he is the big bat in the lineup. Pasayo has the plate. Tavares, Cowser, Alexander, and Jackson Holiday at second.
There's a look at Eric Fetty, who's on for his 9th start, 17th appearance, ERA just below 4.5. He throws some pretty good sinkers, and when he's right, he throws a lot of ground balls. So the sweeper is number 1 pitch, backed up by that sinker we were talking about. Then the cutter, a few changes, but not too many 4-seamers. And here are the matchups we're going to look for today. Pete Alonso has seen him a lot. Gunnar Henderson has hit a home run and walked a couple of times. When he was with Washington, he most likely faced Alonso when Alonso was with the Mets.
Sweeper just missing that corner as Eric Fetty has been drilling the strike zone to start this game. Take a look, did not miss by much there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fetty gets out of the way of that liner as Gunnar Henderson a single to start this bottom of the first.
He just missed with a sweeper and then got a little too much of the plate. This was a good pitch. Sinking away from Henderson, but he takes it right back up the middle.
Not a comfortable feeling as a pitcher on the mound with a comebacker. It's a big outing for Fetty because we have seen him for the better part of this month as the bulk reliever. The last 4 appearances for him, and this is his first start since June 3rd. Fly ball into left center field as Perez calls for it and will make the catch to retire Taylor Ward.
Let's take a look at the defense, and now Will puts him out there tonight behind Eric Fetty. It's Perez, Peters, and Montgomery in the outfield left to right with Vargas, Montgomery, Mydroth, and Gonzalez. Kyle Teal's got the plate. And we told you about Eric Fetty. Fetty has always thrown very well against these Orioles. Sox are hoping that trend continues.
Left fielder Dylan Beavers steps in. And the cutter right on the corner. A delayed strike from Mark Wegner behind the plate. It's an Orioles team. They've lost 3 in a row, 5 of their last 6 games. And offensively over those last 6 games, hitting just .186.
Henderson can run, although he's not running real well this year. He swiped 6 bags. He's been caught 4 times, and 60% is not a good percentage for elite base stealers.
Good cutter up in the zone, gets it past Beavers for strike 2. Here's the career for Eric Fetty versus the Orioles.
You can see that ERA just above 1.5, and the WHIP under 1.
Fetty ahead in the count here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a second throw over to Henderson.
I mean, Henderson is a decent enough base stealer, but throwing over there twice allows him to get a very big lead here.
Henderson stays put, and the pitch fouled away. Eric Fetty looking to continue a trend. White Sox starters over the last 9 games, an ERA of .188. Starting pitching and the relievers have been very good recently. How about that sweeper on the corner? Called a ball, but a challenge from Kyle Teal.
Pitch is called a ball. The catcher is challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile, and it lands. Called strike 3. Nicely done by Kyle Teal.
So we showed you coming into this that Alonso has seen Fetty a lot. I mean, 24 at-bats against any given pitcher is familiarity. And this is a really powerful guy.
Pete Alonso with 9 home runs over his last 3 games.
Last night was a steady diet of sliders to wipe him out.
So a sweeper to get strike 1. And doubles it up for strike 2, and a challenge from Alonso.
Pitch is called a strike. The hit is challenging.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
Got ahead of Alonso, and then he lost him. And this is a guy on this team with the most power. Basayo can really put a charge into it. He's hit 12 home runs, as you can see.
All right, our audio's back. We apologize for the technical difficulties here in Baltimore. As the walk to Alonso. And Basayo rips this one to the gap. They're going to wave in Henderson as he scores. The game is tied. An RBI single from Samuel Basayo.
That's 37 driven in by Basayo, and that walk to Alonso, pushing Henderson to second, allows the Orioles to tie it up.
Right fielder Leody Taveras stepping in now. As the sweeper lands on the corner, strike one. This will be the 20th pitch coming up in this first inning for Fetty.
Outfield playing a couple of steps just to the left of center.
Changeup down in the zone, a good spot for strike two.
Taveras might be the fastest guy on this team.
In the air to shallow center, coming in is Peters, and he will get there to end this first inning. The Orioles score one, and we are tied going to the second. Bunch of production in the bottom of the order, and a lot of that credit is due to this man, Jacob Gonzalez. Over the last 5 games, a .421 batting average, 9 runs batted in, and that was breaking up a stretch of 0 for 25 in his previous 10 games.
What I really like is the fact that he's using the whole field. So if you stay away, he's going to go that way. He is capable of pulling the ball. He does have some big power, but for a while, you got to learn how to hit home runs in the major leagues.
That's one of the things can be easy to forget with this team. So many young guys are having so much success that it takes time to feel your way through, as the pitching is very different going from the minors here to majors. And on the hands, popped up foul territory, and Alexander sees that one go foul.
One of the good things about it is, because they're so young, they're a very exciting team. However, a young team is prone to make mistakes, and the major leagues will teach you a whole lot of lessons. But to do that, you have to get those reps. You have to have the at-bats if you're a hitter. You have to have the innings if you're a pitcher, and it'll all work out. There's a lot of talent here.
Takes that fastball for a called strike 3.
Good fastball, and it was on the inside corner.
Another one of the rookies, Junior Perez, just 24 years old. Shows bunt, but unable to get it down, and there's strike 1.
It was a nice idea, just a little late on the push bunt, however. He was bunting as that ball was in the glove.
At least he could smile about it.
Gibson's got a pretty good fastball. I mean, you got to gear it up.
You can see why the Orioles are very high on this young man. White Sox unable to capitalize on a bases loaded situation in the first inning. Oh, 0-2 pitch here to Perez. That was that death pitch, right?
Yes. And so far, it has not been death to the hitters. The thing is, he's not throwing it for strikes. I mean, it is a wipeout pitch, and if you get ahead, you can use that. He was ahead. He did use it, but Perez didn't swing. So he throws it again and sees if he can throw it in the zone, which he couldn't.
Two balls, two strikes. And fastball upstairs. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the second. Let's go to Connor for his scoop from the clubhouse.
John, two big arms are going to throw for Winston-Salem tomorrow. Shane Smith, the opening day starter, and Tanner McDougal, one of the top prospects in the White Sox system, are expected to throw and begin their rehab process with Winston-Salem tomorrow. Smith should go 2 innings, McDougal 1. This is big, guys. These are two impact arms that could obviously make an impact on the White Sox at some point this season.
Connor, that is a great point, because we've been talking about the trade deadline and what potential moves the White Sox could make. If they get some key players back healthy and called up, that's as good as a trade at the deadline.
Well, at that point, there's no doubt that everybody's going to be looking for an arm out of the bullpen, perhaps another starter, depending on what your needs are. But getting Mooney back is one of the keys. If they get him back, that's like making a consequential trade. I mean, in 2 months, he hit 20 home runs, drove in 40. They're making sure when he does come back, he's back to stay, however.
Kyle Teal started his season on the injured list with a hamstring strain, then tweaked his knee in the rehab assignment. In the 6 games so far this season, he is 5 for 22 with a .227 batting average coming into tonight. Hits that one hard into center field, and Teal his first hit of the ball game. All right, it's time to look at the lines to watch presented by Circus Sports. Sports betting the way it should be. We look at the odds for a White Sox player to hit a home run tonight. All right, Steve, who do you like?
I'll go with Miguel because the wind is blowing out toward left field, even though this is a much better park for a left-hand hitter. He expanded his strike zone, going down, swinging on a pitch way out of the zone in the first inning. But when you're looking at a pitcher for the first time, you can look at all the video you want. There's nothing like being 60 feet 6 inches away. And now with Gibson falling behind, he's got to find some way to come to Miguel. If this pitch is middle in, Gibson might have some problems.
2-0 to Vargas. And he goes with the cutter to get strike 1. Gibson has made 7 appearances and 6 of them starts. But the Orioles have lost 6 of those 7 appearances so far in his major league career. On the ground, backhanded by Henderson as they get the force at second. And that'll do it here for the top half of the inning.
Game replays, catch up on past episodes of Top Prospects, and access even more exclusive Sox content anytime, anywhere. Get started today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
Natalie back in the house for game 2 of this series, and we got her on the right camera this time.
It's a great ballpark to watch a game and a beautiful night to do it. If you're going to see 2, skip the day game. It's going to be 1 billion degrees.
Just 1 billion?
Just 1 billion.
There was certainly a heat wave going across the Midwest and the East Coast. As Eric Fetty missing the start this bottom of the second, facing the bottom 3 in the order. Colton Cowser, he has been flashing the glove as of late. Robbed a home run last night. That's back-to-back games where he has robbed a home run in center field.
And that's what they do here in Baltimore.
Moo.
There he is.
Fetty falling behind 3-0. As home plate umpire Mark Wedner says, this is my time here.
Eric's walk to Alonso pushed Henderson to second base, where he scored on Basayo's base hit in the first inning. That tied the game.
Being around the plate has been an issue for Fetty so far this season. 60.1% strike percentage for him this season. That is lowest in Major League Baseball for any pitcher who throws a minimum of 60 innings. As he will give it the leadoff walk here to Cowser. Let's throw it over to Connor.
Kyle Teal has started to feel the flow again. This is his 7th game this season. After last night's win, Teal said a big difference lately with he's trying to let the challenges come to him while behind the plate. Teal felt like he was forcing them a bit for the first few games. Part of that, he said, not having played for a while, of course. Focusing on not forcing anything has been a key. John and Steve, as you know, also helps that Kyle's been an active participant in planning meetings leading up to games, even while he was on the IL with a hamstring and then the knee issue.
How about this on cue? Kyle Teal with a challenge. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Looked like a sweeper, and it was just down and out of the zone.
So the White Sox will lose a challenge. In the game last night, the White Sox were 6 for 7 in terms of challenges. That is a season high for them, getting 6 calls overturned. Fly ball right field. As Montgomery. Couple steps on the warning track, makes the catch, and there is out number 1.
Right now, right field is not all that easy. You can tell the sunglasses, and it is a sun field at this time of night in Baltimore. A little bit there and a little bit in right center field that will affect Peters. Perez in left field, in the shadows, but the lights are on all around the ballpark.
Bottom of the order, Jackson Holliday. We know Fetty's been working on trying to throw more strikes, but this is a tough challenge because the Orioles have the 6th lowest chase percentage in Major League Baseball.
Cowser 4 out of 6 in stolen bases. This is not the most aggressive Orioles team around. They've swiped 43. They've been caught 18 times.
Runner goes. And the pitch is grounded to second base as Mydrop will make the play. Holliday retired. Cowser advancing to second.
Running with Cowser, however, kept him out of a double play possibility, and so the inning moves along with Gunnar Henderson. Little tapper to the right side, and the only play for Mydrop is the one he made.
Gunnar Henderson turned 25 years old yesterday. And a single and scoring to start his night. And now in his career against the White Sox, he is a .353 hitter.
He has all kinds of talent, but he's fallen on some hard times here this year. He was talking about it in an article they wrote about him, and he said how frustrating it is. I mean, this is a guy that has just about as much talent as any shortstop in baseball. He's still, even with all the struggles, hit 16 home runs.
Already his 5th season in Major League Baseball.
That's what the Orioles are trying to decide now, is just exactly what they're going to do at the trade deadline. They went out, they spent a lot of money on Pete Alonso and trying to convince their fans that they were going for it this year.
Into left field as Perez moves to his right, makes the catch, and that'll end this second inning. All tied at 1 here in Baltimore. Visit whitesox.com/ticket plans or call or text 312-674-1000. Beautiful night here in Baltimore as the White Sox and Orioles tied at 1 to start this third. This half inning is brought to you by Hyundai.
And he had the night off last night. Comes back rejuvenated and starts off with a run-producing double in the first inning.
Didn't pull the trigger there. The cutter lands, strike one. Ten home runs already this season for Andrew Benintendi, as he is halfway to his career high of 20, which he has done 3 times, including each of the last 2 seasons. Look, we were asking the question, who would step up with Murakami's absence, out over 4 weeks now, and Benintendi has been one of those guys providing the power.
I think it's been a team effort because they have hit the ball out of the ballpark. The home runs have not suffered.
Hits that one hard and over the glove of Alonso. That ball was smoked by Benintendi as he will stop at first.
That's 2 at-bats and 2 rockets. And occasionally, as you get to be a veteran player, that off night can put a charge into you. He crushed this ball. Alonso, who's done a good job defensively at first base, had no chance. Nice play by Taveras, getting it back in, holding Benintendi at first base. But the leadoff man aboard.
The White Sox are well aware of the story with Benintendi the last year, dealing with his Achilles. So making sure that he is fresh and rested is really important to his success this year.
Well, balance is the key for a hitter. If you can't drive off your back leg especially, you've got a problem. And if you have a leg issue at all, you're just not going to be able to drive the ball.
Colson Montgomery, back it goes! Get out! That one onto Utah Street. Colson Montgomery, a 2-run shot here in this third inning. And the Sox retake the lead.
440 feet.
Woo!
That was a blast. So the first time up, Gibson threw a lot of high fastballs and threw it by him. We'll watch it again. So this time it's that slider or the death ball. This time the death was to the baseball. Time for the Lexus Experience Amazing Home Run Replay, and that is a rocket.
How far did you say that was?
440.
My goodness.
It was not wind aided because the wind is blowing toward left field. But that one, he got all up. Derek Showman certainly likes that.
White Sox have never been worried about Colson Montgomery. Could be a few games, a week, whatever it is, they know he has it in him.
Well, he's so strong that if he just makes any kind of solid contact, he's going to hit his home runs. 21 and 49 on the power numbers.
So he matches his home run total from last year. As he looks at his swing on the iPad there with Davis Martin.
I don't blame him. I'd want to look at that too.
Coming into play tonight, opponents against the slider of Trey Gibson, or that death pitch you're talking about, we're hitting just 152. Good take there. Fastball missing inside, and it's now full here to Braden Montgomery. Pitch is already starting to get up there. .53 for Trey Gibson. And that one misses, ball 4. Good take by Montgomery.
That's the second time that Braden has walked. It's a 4th walk early in this game. So Basayo going out there now to have a word with him. Last thing Albernaz wants to do is go to that bullpen early. And for Trey Gibson, I mean, you can tell he's got a very good arm. The oddity was that nobody drafted him. That's pretty amazing that you can throw like this and somebody wouldn't take a chance, but he's only 23 years old. There's a lot in front of him, certainly. Right now you can tell that he's betrayed by his command more than anything else.
Is there anything your catcher can tell you in a situation like this to help you get back on track?
Pretty much he can tell you to settle down, get back to whatever rhythm you'd like to have. But first of all, you have to know the pitcher very well, and Basayo can't know Gibson all that well because basically he just got here.
See Basayo motioning.
Yeah, he's trying to
down a little bit.
Trying to settle him down, because when you're a young player, whether it's a pitcher or a fielder, the game moves very fast to you. When you're a veteran player, the game slows down. The game looks like it can come to you instead of you charging at the game. And that's why catchers try to settle down pitchers that are doing exactly what Gibson is doing here.
Green light?
No.
4-pitch walk. So back-to-back walks after the Colson Montgomery home run.
And you would think that Drew French would come out to have a word with him. But right now, nobody's coming out to have a word with him.
So the last 7 pitches have missed. Let's see if Tristan Peters will attack a cookie here for this first one.
And that one way out of the zone. So they expect him to bunt. Alonso and Alexander both in at the corners. The fans here with a derisive cheer.
Beautiful setting here at Camden Yards. First thing you notice, the old warehouse, which they incorporated into the ballpark out in right field.
It is a beautiful setting. You can see a little of downtown from where we are in the booth.
Muscled into right field. It's going to be trouble, and it will drop. A throw to second as Mydrop had to hold. He is safe. So a single for Peters, and the bases are loaded. Still nobody out.
And doesn't get a whole lot of this, but Holiday does not get a good jump. It's a tough play to make. Taveras was trying to get that force out at second base, couldn't do it. It's the only play he had, and then good hustle. Got Mydroth in at second. That's a tough play for a base runner because it's so easy to make that catch, either the second baseman or the right fielder, and then you're going to be trapped.
This is the guy you want at the plate, Jacob Gonzalez. We highlighted what he has done over his last 5 games. He went down looking his first time in the second, but he can do some damage here with the bases juiced. Lines this one into left field. Braden Montgomery will score. They're going to wave in Mydroth as the throw goes to third. A 2-run single for Jacob Gonzalez. It's now a 5-1 White Sox lead.
Jacob's got 16 driven in. This is a pretty good pitch. It's low and away. But what Jacob has shown early is that he's kind of got a nose for runs batted in. You get him in a situation where he can drive some home, he's able to do just that. So the Sox adding on. But tonight, they do have the benefit of a 2-run homer to go with an onslaught here in the 3rd inning.
We got some wizard hats on the road. There's the magic. Perez well hit into right center field. Looking up, and this one is out of here. Second career home run for Junior Perez. A 3-run shot. And the White Sox breaking this one open early here in the 3rd.
That was a blast opposite field. With the wind blowing to left, this little slider went out of the ballpark to right center. Perez shows he's got some pop, and it's time for the Lexus Experience Amazing home run replay, and this inning has been amazing. Still nobody out here in the 3rd.
Once again, bottom of the order, not disappointing, as Gonzalez in the 8-hole driving in 2 and Perez in the 9-hole driving in 3.
No trips to the mound yet by the pitching coach.
A 7-run 3rd inning, and Steve, there is still nobody out.
Single, 2-run homer by Montgomery, a couple of walks, single by Peters, 2-run single by Gonzalez, and a 3-run homer by Perez. Quite an inning. And now the pen up and going.
Kyle Teel chased that fastball, and there is out number 1. Ninth hitter to come to the plate in this 3rd inning is Miguel Vargas. The White Sox are proving recently that they can put up some crooked numbers. That 7th spot looking real nice right now.
That pitcher's duel we were telling you about in Yankee Stadium with the Tigers and the Yankees. Skubal has yet to go to the mound, and Schlittler gave up 4 in the 1st.
Wow.
Tigers lead 4-0. 4 runs on 4 hits. So much for that pitcher's duel we were talking about.
Tigers aren't done.
No, they have a pretty good team. Their only question is what to do with Skubal.
Vargas goes down to get this one as he pops it up. Holiday at second base will make the catch, and there's 2 down. The White Sox have now batted around as Benintendi led things off with a single. It's been the best weapon for Gibson tonight. That high fastball, he's gotten a lot of chases up there. Oh, 2 to Benny. Seems like the White Sox really were dialed in for that slider, because that has not fooled them tonight.
He hasn't thrown it for strikes, and when he did once, it left the yard.
Another quality at bat by Benintendi. Got a double and a single tonight. 3-2. And now add on a walk.
And I think that is going to be it for Gibson. He's going to depart this game. Disappointing for the young man who's still learning his trade. And tonight the Sox took advantage of some errant control. And when he did get it in the zone, Sox hit the ball pretty hard. He's going to walk off, proving once again this is a very tough game. So the 2 home runs this inning. 2-run shot by Colson. 3-run shot by Perez opposite field. And it's a 7-run lead for the Sox.
Performance. I mean, look at Colson Montgomery's swing earlier this inning.
440 feet. That certainly helped things along. And for Trey Gibson, he walked 6 in 2 2/3 innings. You just can't get away.
So a new pitcher now on the mound for the Orioles.
It's Josh Walker. We saw him last night. We're seeing him again tonight, on for the 5th time, an ERA of 3.86.
Flied in the air to left field as Beavers went back, now comes in. And Montgomery retired. How about a 7-run 3rd inning for the White Sox to open it up? All-in-one wellness app with tools to build financial strength and guidance for fitness and stress management. Feel better, live better, play better. Download the Rate app today. Big league for the White Sox as we start this home half of the 3rd inning.
Second time through the order for the Orioles. First time produced 1 run.
I'll tell you what, we might have to go to lunch again tomorrow. We went today.
We did.
Got some crab cakes.
Yeah, the problem is that we have a day game. So maybe breakfast.
Breakfast crabs?
I'll tell you what. I'll buy you the biggest dinner you can eat on the plane.
Oh, how about that? You paid for lunch today, so I can't get mad.
Well, there you go. Yeah, the crab cakes are just outstanding here.
The reason why you come to Baltimore, you got to get crab something. Even if it's just some Old Bay on some French fries.
It doesn't matter what restaurant you go to, they tell you the same thing. Doesn't matter what you order. You want crab with that?
Eric Fetty, after the long layoff, gets the strikeout as we go to Connor for some news and notes.
It's a crab-covered edition of News and Notes. Skubal and Schlittler underway. It's a very good pitching matchup, but a lot of runs already. 3 homers off Schlittler. The Rangers have been moving along, and on top of the West, that game is tied at 2 right now with the Guardians. Junior Caminero is in the home run derby. He's been living a home run derby lately, guys.
He can really play, and he's a very young player still. It's going to be frightening when he gets a little experience.
Always look forward to the home run derby and the All-Star festivities. They will be in Philadelphia this season. Looking to see how many of the White Sox players will be participating.
Well, unlike the last few years, there is a big list of candidates.
Dylan Beavers grounds this one to first as Gonzalez keeps it himself. I think Colson Montgomery's raising his hand right now.
I think he's one of those guys certainly going to be considered. Davis Martin, another one of those guys. And you know what they're looking for always, because they get a lot of starting pitchers in the All-Star game? They're always looking for that good reliever. Not going to find too many better than Grant Taylor. And the way he's been pitching lately, nobody's getting anything to hit from him. 2 innings last night. And once again, he started off a little slowly, and then he became overwhelming again, striking out the last 2 guys when he went 6 up and 6 down over 2 innings.
Really, the entire pitching yesterday was just phenomenal. As that cutter lands, it's quickly 0-2 to Pete Alonso. Sean Burke started off last night and combined with 3 relievers for a 4-hitter against the Orioles.
Sean has been really good the last 3 times out, especially good. Nothing like the day after you pitch a real good ball game.
That's like a little 80s throwback look from Burke.
Sit around with that toothpick. You're feeling pretty good about it. You got that general soreness that you get when you pitch in a major league game, especially because you extend yourself. And the great thing about it is you've exhausted yourself physically, intellectually, and emotionally. There's not a lot of jobs where you can do that, but a well-pitched game is something that you have to bask a little bit in the glory before you get back to business and think about your next start.
Yes, he did go around. Nasty sinker from Fetty. Couple punch outs here to end this third. Lemonade. Top of the fourth we go here in Baltimore. This half inning is brought to you by Toyota. Braden Montgomery, his first 9 games, what he did this season, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, but his last 10 games showing a lot more discipline at the plate. Couple of walks to start his night.
Talked to him about the game tomorrow. I said, you can be able to deal with all that heat, all that humidity? He said, I'm from Mississippi. I'll be able to deal with it just fine.
White Sox are already planning, though, for that big heat wave that is coming through. And they're telling a lot of guys, make sure you stay hydrated. And it starts a day earlier, because once you start feeling it, it becomes very tough to try to catch your body up and get rehydrated again.
Fortunately, this is a very young team, and they'll deal with it. I absolutely love the heat here. Playing in humidity.
Hit hard, but a big hop too short as Henderson, his throw in time, just gets Montgomery by a step.
Follow our Sox, ChicagoSportsNetwork.com, presented by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side.
Chase Myjoth has also walked twice tonight. And you love to see that from young players. See a pitcher on the mound. He was on the ropes, wasn't really finding the plate. The White Sox not trying to do too much, just passing the baton to the next guy in the order. Myjoth didn't love that call, deciding not to challenge, and it's strike 2.
I mean, although this game's going pretty well, there's still only 1 challenge left, and it's only the 4th inning.
Last night, the story for the White Sox, runs late in the game, putting up 6 runs over the last 2 innings. And tonight, it's scoring early and often. Another one hit hard on the ground. This time it's to Holiday at second. And Alonso did find the bag. There's 2 down. Tristan Peters, 1 for 2 tonight. He singled and scored as part of that 7-run 3rd inning.
The Orioles would love to see Walker eat up a lot of innings. You've got a lot of games played consecutively. The last thing you want to do is see a starter leave early, empty out your bullpen. because they're going to Cincinnati from here, and Cincinnati starting to play pretty good baseball.
Also talked about the quick turnaround, the day game tomorrow for the finale of this one. If you're the Orioles and you use up too many arms tonight, you may have to call somebody up tomorrow. Slider stays up out of the zone, and it's 3 balls and a strike here to Peters. And a couple of ground outs so far here in the 4th. Strike zone has expanded just a bit.
That was definitely up out of the zone.
(3-2). And Tristan Peters will pick up his second hit tonight, and it comes with 2 outs. Let's go to Connor.
John, the bottom of the White Sox lineup has been producing as of late. Now, this is in part because of Kyle Teal returning and lengthening the lineup some. It's also because of the adjustments that Jacob Gonzalez has been able to make of late. 11 RBI in his last 6 games, and that includes tonight. You'll love to see punch from the 7, 8, 9. There is no give up in this White Sox lineup, and now there's production in the bottom 3rd.
And Connor, this is a young man who first-round draft pick back in 2023 by the White Sox, 15th overall.
Thank you.
But he kind of got lost in terms of the prospect chart because he wasn't really producing early on in his minor league career. Made the adjustments this year.
One of the good things about what he's done is you haven't seen any defensive letdown at first base, despite the fact he's been a lifetime shortstop. So as the Sox have done, they move guys around. They expect some versatility out of their players, and Gonzalez has settled in nicely at first.
Including the 6 runs scored late last night. The White Sox have scored 14 runs over the last 6 innings. We talked about the history of the White Sox not having much success against the Orioles over the last 3 years, but this is a different team. There is a new mentality as these young players do not have a memory of any of that.
Game like today makes the hitting coach feel very happy. Derek Showman, who has a business called Athletes HQ. It's a training facility. He opened it in the Chicago area. They have 4 of them now. The good thing about it is, one of the things that's difficult for a hitting coach, you explain to your hitters what you'd like them to do, but they all have personal hitting coaches also, and that's the coordination. Derek said it's easier for him because he's one of those guys that helps other hitters to hit, so he knows what it's like to be the personal hitting coach for some people as well as the hitting coach for the Sox.
It's kind of where the game is going now. Everyone is going to their individual guy, whether that be a hitting or a pitching coach. So to have a guy on your staff who understands that dynamic, that's why these young players are taking off early.
And this team has become a handful, especially for right-hand starting pitchers, with 6 or 7 left-handers in the lineup.
3-2. This ball is crushed to the gap as Cowser is not going to get there. Tristan Peters using his speed. He's going to score from first. An RBI double for Jacob Gonzalez, the 3rd run he has driven in tonight. And it's now a 9-1 White Sox lead here in the 4th.
This double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty. This is a blast. It comes lefty-lefty, and no chance at all for Cowser, who covers a whole lot of ground in center field, but not this time.
And you love that there's no let-up in this lineup now, as Junior Perez launched his second career home run his last time up with a 3-run shot in the third.
No, this is a team that's going to grind for 9 innings. At home, they'd like to grind for 8.5. But on the road, they want to play a good solid 9, and they're not going to give you any outs.
Peel the first. He did not go around. That is Carlos Torres on the call. We didn't know much about Junior Perez when he got called up, replacing Everson Pereira on the injured list with a concussion. But he has really impressed with his athleticism and his play in the outfield. Will calls him an above average defender. Clearly he's got the power at the plate. I was going to
say above average power. It looks like you go opposite field here into the wind. That's doing something. You know, you could see if maybe it's down the line in right or maybe in right center. That ball was just to the right of center, and it's one of the deeper parts of the ballpark.
Runner on at second with 2 down. As the slider lands, called strike 3. White Sox add another run. It's a 9-1 lead going to the bottom of the 4th. As the White Sox a 9-1 lead over the Orioles. This half inning is brought to you by Davis Law. Here's the catcher, Basayo, leading things off for the Orioles. Basayo just 21 years old, the 7th youngest active Major League Baseball player.
He can swing it. Question will be how much catching he's going to get, because right now that's lagged behind his offense.
Well, the good thing for him is if you can show that you can hit at this level, they'll find a place for you.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Came up with an RBI single in the first, driving in the only run of the game so far for the Orioles.
Pen up and going, Andrew Kittredge.
What have you thought of Eric Fetty so far here tonight?
Don't think he has his great stuff, but he's making do with what he's got, and it certainly helps to have 9 on the board behind him.
I love what he did in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, a couple of strikeouts, a 1-2-3 inning. But a couple of walks early. You know, you're just not going to have your good stuff every time out, and you got to really battle them sometimes. It certainly helps your battling when you're given a big lead. Then you just worry about getting the ball over the plate. Let him hit it at somebody. You got 7 guys behind you and 1 in front of you to take care of your mistakes. But you can't defend a walk, and Eric's been around long enough to certainly know that.
Fetty, 33 years old now, and he has been the ultimate team guy. When you're a starter, you want to get the ball to start the game, and the White Sox have used him as a bulk reliever for half of his outings this season, but he hasn't complained, hasn't said a word. Said, whenever you want me to go in, I'll take the ball. And it's worked for the White Sox because of the communication, because they let him know basically what part in the order he is most likely to come in.
You can see the last 6 appearances, whether it be as a starter or that bulk reliever, he's thrown it very well. ERA at 2.13. And that one didn't miss by much, just down a touch.
Kyle Teal tried to frame that one for his pitcher. 3-2. As it slipped out of the hand, and a walk to Basayo.
Hopefully you lip readers at home didn't see that. I think he said, oh darn. That one slipped away. He got ahead of Basayo and then walked him, something you really hate to do ever, but especially 8 runs up.
Tavares high in the air. It is in right center field. Montgomery setting it underneath for the catch. When you have a big lead like this as a starter, does it change your approach at all? Can you be as fine, or are you truly just throwing strikes at this point?
No, I think for a young pitcher, maybe it might be difficult because you have a tendency to let up. But for a veteran pitcher, you're just going out there trying to keep that same concentration you had when the game started. You just know you have to throw strikes, fill up the zone, try to stay ahead of hitters, and then force them to swing at your pitch, which is why there's so much emphasis on getting ahead of the hitters. You want to force them to hit a pitcher's pitch, not get behind him, and then they're going to hit your mistakes.
Sweeper has been one of the better pitches this season for Eric Fetty. As he missed with that one, 1-1 the count here to Colton Cowser.
And since he changed the grip on that sinker, things have moved along pretty well for him.
Like that one.
And there is one of those sinkers. Eric knows at this point, gone is the day where he can stand out there and just pump fastball after fastball. He's got to change it up, mix in the sweeper, the sinker. Don't use the middle of the plate very often. And he's proven in 2 stints with the Sox to be a very serviceable pitcher.
That first time when he came over from Korea in 2024, he was incredible. Kind of had that Davis Martin effect. Every time he took the ball, felt like the White Sox could win. 2-2. This one is launched in the air to right field. Montgomery going back at the warning track, and that's where he will make the catch. A long out for the second one here in this 4th inning.
Cowser bidding for his 9th home run, but that gentle wind blowing toward left field kept this one in the park. He takes the hop, skip, and a jump. He thought he got it. And a sigh of relief out of Eric Fetty.
That just shows you how much of a blast that one was from Colson Montgomery.
Right at Boog's Barbecue, which is a former great Oriole, Boog Powell, put a barbecue stand out there when they built the ballpark, and it's held up nicely. I've been over there. Barbecue's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is.
We talking finger licking good?
Well, I guess
that's how I determine.
Kind of depends on your hands, but it's pretty good.
I'm trying to lick all the barbecue sauce off.
It's like I say, it's been around a long time, and Boog was quite a player for them. Tigers now lead the Yankees 6-1. That game in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Cam Schlittler had one of his real rough outings.
It's funny, every time you think you can expect something in this game,
something else happens.
Baseball just laughs at you. We thought that was going to be one of the best pitching matchups of the season.
It's turning out to be a good pitching matchup in Cleveland. DeGrom going for the Rangers. Guardians scored early. They scored 2 in the 1st inning. Rangers came back with 2 in the 3rd. Tanner Bybee going for the Guardians, and that has turned into a very good pitcher's duel.
Rangers, all of a sudden, they are surging in 1st place in the AL West. 2-2 from Fetty. As he misses down with that sinker. If the Rangers pull off that win, it would be a season high 6 wins in a row.
We've become very big Rangers fans.
Hunter's off with the pitch, and it's pulled foul. 70 pitches now for Fetty as he tries to close out this fourth. You can see it is a very hot and humid day. It's the fly ball. Montgomery in right field. And a nice job again by Fetty to put another 0 on the board.
Hydroth and Kyle Teal. Your ticket includes a meet and greet, a photo with 2 of Chicago's young stars, plus a 2-month CHSN All Access subscription. Tickets are limited, so get yours today at shop.chsn.com/club312. That is a good ticket. Get to meet a couple of young stars and get to watch White Sox baseball on CHSN. What could be better than that? Except maybe Boog's Barbecue.
Team is hot right now, so you get 2 months to get locked in.
They certainly are that. Big series coming up in Cleveland.
Ooh, buddy. Funky delivery with a new pitcher on the mound now for the Orioles.
Andrew Kittredge comes out for the 24th time. ERA above 5.5. Chase rate pretty good, 39%.
That high fastball has been very appealing to Kyle Teal as he lays off that one, 1-1 the count. Top of the fifth. This half inning is brought to you by St. Xavier University. If you're just joining us, the White Sox exploded for 7 runs in the 3rd inning. 1 in the first, 7 in the 3rd, 1 more in the 4th, taking a 9-1 lead. And the slider, wipeout pitch as Teal down swinging to start the 5th.
Cal not real happy with that at bat. And last night for the Sox, it was 2 in the 8th and 4 in the 9th that eventually put it away in what was a very tough and tight ball game all the way. Today, completely different. A barrage early and the Sox riding an 8-run lead.
Ground ball in some fair territory. Alexander at 3rd, just getting Miguel Vargas. I love how much he just busted down the line every single time.
Well, look, it's an 8-run lead, but there's nobody that's going to take anything for granted here. And he put the pressure on Alexander. Alexander gunned it across. That's one of the better arms around at 3rd base because it looked like he had taken too much time, but he got him.
Go back to that blowout game back at home in Chicago, 22-1. One of those key plays was a ground out just like that where Vargas running down hard, Will Venable deciding to challenge it even with a lopsided score.
Well, it was a would-be double play. And when Will did challenge it, it looked in real time like he'd beaten the play just barely. But with the challenge, it got him another run batted in. But more than that, because it was 17-1 game at the time, it showed that there was a reward for flat-out hustle. And one of the things that holds true with any team, when the stars on your team are hustling all the time, everybody else then has to hustle because they're looking at this guy going, wait, he's one of the key players and he's busting it. I certainly have to do the same.
Over the head of Alonso at first, as Benintendi will pick up his 3rd hit of the night. I'd say he's well rested.
Feeling pretty good. This is a great park for him because he is a dead pull hitter. And he took this one off the ground, went to one knee, and just eases it over the head of Alonso at first base. Benny's feeling pretty good about this effort. Alonso goes up as high as he can go. Not high enough.
Here's Colson Montgomery. Drives this one, but pulls it foul. You get the feeling what he does early in the game, you can kind of tell the night that Colson Montgomery is going to have, and he's been pounding some balls tonight.
When you have the kind of strength that he has, you don't have to get all of the baseball.
Appeal to third. He did go around. Bruce Dreckman on the call. Colson Montgomery also learned that he doesn't have to swing as hard as he needs to generate power, and that was one of the things he really learned when they pulled him from his minor league season last year. Swing and a miss over that slider. Bottom of the fifth we go. White Sox up big over the Orioles.
Up your banking with Marquette Bank at emarquettebank.com. Marquette Bank, love where you bank.
Sinker top of the zone, strike one for Eric Fedde as we start this home half of the fifth. This half inning is brought to you by Prevagen. Fedde understands the assignment. Pound the strike zone, eat up some innings with this big lead.
Especially with not only the day game tomorrow, which is quick turnaround, but also then going to Cleveland for a very big 4-game series against the Guardians.
Sometimes you wonder when you got a big series like that, will a team get caught looking ahead to the team that's right on their heels in the division?
Doesn't appear so. No.
Oh, no way.
No, and that's the one thing about this game. It's an everyday game. And regardless of what happened yesterday, you don't have that anymore. Tomorrow hasn't happened yet, so you have to concentrate today on whoever it is you're playing.
On the ground to Meidroth at second base as Fedde gets the ground ball out.
But that's one of the differences between being a professional player, understanding how to do that. And there's various phases to how you have to learn, because the first thing they teach you when you come into this game, you're coming from either a high school or college background. They have to teach you to be a professional player, which means every day you're going to have to get up. You're going to have to play as hard as you can on a daily basis for either 142 or 162 games. Then when you make the jump, if you're lucky enough, you have to learn how to be a major league player. That's not an easy thing to do because there's a lot of competition and a lot of pressure. And the third stage, and the most important at all, you got to learn how to be a winning player.
Fly ball deep to right field. It's going to go off the scoreboard as Montgomery will get it back in. And Gunnar Henderson will have his second hit of the night. It's a double.
Well, there is no doubt for the Orioles that Henderson is a much better player than he's shown this year. This double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty. I am not sure what they are paying for this endorsement, but they're getting their money's worth this year.
Orioles manager Craig Albernaz decided to move Gunnar Henderson to the top of the order last night, and it has really paid off. He was 2 for 3 last night, 2 for 3 again here tonight. Off the end of the bat, near the right center, as Montgomery with the grab, and Henderson staying put at second, 2 down.
There's not going to be a whole lot of guys in the major leagues going to run on Montgomery in right field. He's got a very strong arm, but more importantly, he's got a very accurate arm. And he's shown already that if you take some liberties, he's going to gun you down at second base. Just ask Starling Marte, who tried to stretch a single into a double and was hung out to dry.
I loved everything about that play, and it wasn't even just the throw, it was the quick transfer, the release, getting out of his glove. And you could tell Marte was pretty stunned by it.
I think he was surprised that the ball was waiting for him to arrive.
One into right field. As Gunnar Henderson, he will be waved in. As Dylan Beavers drives in the second run of the game for the Orioles here in this 5th inning.
That's 13 driven in for Beavers. Low fastball, which most left-handers really like. His first hit of the night. Montgomery has some problems with this.
Still ruled an RBI double, so a couple doubles here in this 5th. We'll bring up Pete Alonso. Alonso launches this one, but foul.
That was way back there. That was a sweeper that didn't sweep very much. Pin up and going. Tyler Schweitzer.
This one is well hit into left center field. So Beavers, he will score the RBI single to Pete Alonso. And we're starting to see some hard hit balls in this 5th.
That's one of the reasons why the pen is going up and Will is coming out. And normally that means that he's going to take him out. Sometimes you just want to ask a question, look in a pitcher's eyes, and depending on what he answers, you might leave him in. I would think this would be one of those times. To me, he wants to ask the question, he wants to look at him, and if he answers in the affirmative, which you would expect, he's going to leave him in the game. And that gives a lot of confidence to the starting pitcher.
We have not seen Will Venable do that too many times. When he makes the walk, traditionally it's give me the baseball, your night is done. But a different story here tonight.
I mean, he went out there and pretty much said, look, you got 2 outs in the inning. Whatever you have left, empty the tank. Let's see you get out of this one. And he's got to get out against a pretty good hitter in Basayo.
Basayo has not been retired tonight. RBI single and a walk. After the sweeper missing, this will be pitch number 85 tonight for Fetty. Will Venable trusting the veteran on the mound to get the final out of this frame. The first 3 have missed. And Taveras on deck. Just missed a home run his last time up. The sinker lands. Basayo will challenge.
That one looked like it had a good piece of the plate.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Last challenge here for the Orioles.
It did. It had a piece of the plate.
Confirmed, Baltimore has no challenges remaining.
Look, that's a very young hitter. You're down 6. And now you're out of challenges the rest of the game.
But also 3-0 versus 3-1. You're still in an advantage count. Now he expands the zone. Swing and a miss on the cutter. Three-two. Popped up. Kyle Teal will chase, but run out of room. Love to see Fetty get this final out.
Yeah, for his psyche, he needs to get the final out of the inning to at least qualify for the win. Still a long way to go in this, and you can't take anything for granted in this game.
3-2. In the air to deep center field. It is Peters calling for it. Nice job, Will Venable, allowing his veteran to get the final out to qualify for the win and get out of this 5th inning.
Pen is brought to you by Orland Toyota, and it's Albert Suarez on for the 5th time. His ERA a touch under 4. He inherits a 6-run deficit, trying to keep it right there as the Sox try to put a few more runs on the board and make it a little more comfortable. Rangers have taken the lead over the Guardians. That game in the top of the 8th in Cleveland, they lead 3-2.
We got wizards all over the ballpark. I've seen some wands make an appearance here in Baltimore as people are loving the magic from the 2026 White Sox. Braden Montgomery leads off this 6th inning with 5, 6, 7 in the order coming to the plate. Changeup lands, and Montgomery's going to challenge White Sox with 1 remaining.
Call the strike, the hitter's challenge.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Ooh, it does miss.
Call the ball.
Didn't miss by much, but that's all it has to miss by to even the count.
Montgomery, a couple walks. Scored in the 3rd inning.
Can't beat cotton candy. Kids love it. They're up till 4 in the morning.
Top of the 6th. This half inning is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai. These are the concessions right now I'm looking at. The lemonade looked good. That cotton candy looks good.
It's a good night for cotton candy. There is a good night for it.
You know when you know cotton candy's at the top of its game? When there's a ring left around the mouth of the kids. That's when you know it's the good stuff. He's being a little more careful with it tonight. 3-2. I didn't get to go to many games when I was growing up, but when I did, it was like that was the thrill for me, just to really enjoy all that the ballpark had. Hot dog, cotton candy. I was like, wait a minute, I can get Dippin' Dots? Up out of the zone, and Montgomery chases for strike 3. Welcome back inside the booth alongside Steve Stone, John Schriffen. How about that moment? We didn't see it very much this season, but Will Venable electing to leave Fetty in. What'd you think?
I thought it was really a good decision. Number one, your starting pitcher and a guy you depend on is 1 out away from at least qualifying for a win. And he showed that he has confidence in him. And that's going to serve him well as he goes down through this very long season. So I thought it was a good move by Will, and it paid off. And Eric certainly has extended himself. It's a very humid night, as so often happens here in Baltimore. Anthony Kay to his right. I did get to see a few games growing up, and I remember going into the upper deck at the old Cleveland Municipal Stadium, and I'd never been to a ballpark before, and I saw more green grass than I had ever seen before. And then I got a taste of the stadium mustard, which, by the way, they still have. I loved it then. I love it now. And it was just wonderful.
That's what makes this game so special. There's certain sounds, there's certain tastes, there's certain smells that just remind you of what it was like being a kid.
I think coming to the ballpark early, you get a good shot at all the concessions they have. You associate going to the ballpark with eating as much as you possibly can. And you get to really fall in love with what I think is the most beautiful game there is.
I've always said when you're at a stadium, the calories don't count. There you go. Get in.
No, I think he's doing a good job.
There's that ring. You can tell that's the good stuff. A ground out and a couple walks for Chase Mydroth tonight. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Goes down swinging, strike 3. It's now 3 straight strikeouts.
Just got a text from my old friend and former teammate, the Hall of Famer, Jim Palmer, one of the greats, an Oriole legend, certainly. And it was miraculous. Once again, by not showing up for the series, he did not have to buy a lunch for me. So I think that's terrific. There's a guy they called Cakes because he ate pancakes before most of his starts early in his career. And what a great pitcher he was. His ability to avoid the check was nowhere near what he was as a pitcher. 22, number retired, and what a pitcher he was.
You're saying that's the great Houdini.
Ooh.
White Sox retired in order, but still a big lead here in Baltimore. And game. Ticket plus a free meal. Grab your family and head to the ballpark with a family pack. Starting at $21 for select games, each ticket purchase includes a hot dog, drink, chips, and a cookie. For tickets, visit whitesox.com/family.
A new pitcher in the ball game. It is Tyler Schweitzer, on for the 5th time, recently recalled. He's got to get some outs. Still a long way to go in this.
We were laughing coming back because it's still a good atmosphere in the ballpark, even though the Orioles have been very inconsistent this season. They had a little karaoke cam, Backstreet Boys edition. I'm singing along, getting Steve to get in there with me.
You're doing a good job. Yeah, it's not. Now, can't do it after a couple of apple juices.
You can't have fun at the ballpark, you know?
It's true.
On the count here to Taveras.
Rangers have now taken a 4-2 lead over the Guardians. That game in the bottom of the 8th.
White Sox coming into play tonight with a game lead over the Guardians for first place in the AL Central. Two. White Sox have been in first place for 18 days this season versus a total of 7 from 2022 to 2025.
Well, I think everybody that's seen this team realizes that there's, number one, a lot of talent here that hasn't been here in the last few years, and number two, there's a new culture. There's a new attitude headed up by guys like Miguel Vargas. Colson Montgomery with a towering home run tonight.
Chopper over the middle. My drop able to get to it from the grass. Safe at first, but the fact that he even had a play there shows you the range of my drop.
There's some guys he might have gotten, but not Taveras, who runs very well. Good effort by Mydroth up the middle on the shortstop side of second, and makes an accurate one-hop throw. But Taveras just too fast.
So my drop's looking at the scouting report here for Colton Cowser. Drops this one up in foul territory. It goes a few rows back. White Sox have out-hit the Orioles 10-6 tonight. As Fetty able to go 5 innings, giving way to Tyler Schweitzer, taking over here in the 6th. Oh, 0-2 pitch. Sweeper got him looking. That was filthy. It's time now for a message from Ankin Law.
I'm with Chicago shortstop Colson Montgomery. You're on this team first.
Yeah, I've always worked hard for the team rather than myself.
I get it. If you've been injured, my team is here to help. Call 312-6-million. Injury law made personal. That's Ankin Law.
Also, Montgomery keeps hitting home runs like he hit tonight. He'll have more and more of those commercials.
Yep.
Alexander, a couple flyouts tonight, and a good stop there by Kyle Teal. What do you remember about your time that you spent here in Baltimore? You had so much success with the pitching staff.
Well, I just remember that that was an organization that was doing for a long time what the Sox have been doing the last couple of years, and really putting an emphasis on who they bring into their locker room and who they bring into their dugout.
Taken right side, poked through by Alexander. So a couple singles here in this 6th inning.
What I mean by that is the culture of the organization in those days, and things have changed somewhat. But that's what the Sox are doing now. They pay close attention to who they bring into that locker room, who they bring into that dugout. Zach Bove now coming out to talk with Schweitzer. Every one of these outs a big out because you're going to save the bullpen for that day game tomorrow. I think the Orioles have changed somewhat. Maybe it started, I don't know, in the mid-'80s or something. They won the World Series in '83. Don't have to remind White Sox fans of that. Then things started to go downhill. They always built from within. This for a while was the cradle of major league executives. A lot of general managers came out of the Baltimore system. So you see Brian Hudson loosening in the pen. I think pretty much that's what the Sox are doing now, an organizational philosophy that they pay close attention to the type of character they're bringing into the locker room and then the dugout.
I'll tell you what, after you had that magical year 1980 here in Baltimore, you are still very much loved here in Charm City. All you have to do is walk down the street with you. Went to lunch today as soon as we head out of the hotel. I see a little shadow creeping up behind us. I'm like, Steve, we got company. You had some autograph seekers hounding you down today.
Well, we find that all over the league is guys wanting mostly the players, and you could understand that.
Fly ball to left field. Perez backing up as Holiday is retired for out number 2.
And the folks who do remember me from the time I was here, I mean, you don't find a lot of 90-year-old autograph seekers.
I will say they were very polite.
Yeah, very nice.
They called you Mr. Stone.
Yeah, well, I'm old enough to be his grandfather. That's probably hence the Mister.
Top of the order, Gunnar Henderson. He has done some damage tonight. Singled and scored in the first, doubled and scored in the 5th. As it looks like the move to the top of the order has given him a boost of confidence. Henderson laid on a couple heaters. Schweitzer trying to put an end and get out of this jam in the bottom of the 6th inning. Oh, 2. Breaking ball. As Mydroth waits on it from the grass, makes the play to end this 6th inning.
White Sox lead the Orioles. Jacob Gonzalez has the 2nd most RBI for the White Sox since his MLB debut. He's also 10 for 24 in his last 6, including tonight. 11 of his 17 RBI in the last 6 games. Coming in tonight, he'd been pounding sliders and curveballs, but the fastball and sinker, those had been an issue. Tonight, guys, single off the heater, double off the sinker. You'll love to see it.
4 for his last 7. 6 runs driven in this series.
Just think he's looking better and better. Played a very solid defense, and he's got a very strong arm.
The count here to Gonzalez with 8-9-1 coming to the plate in the 7th inning.
That pitcher's duel we were telling you about, the Tigers now lead 9-1 over the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. Yankees got swept by the Red Sox in Boston in 4 straight.
Down the line in left field. And it's going to be a fair ball. Gonzalez hustling into second. Here comes the throw. His 2nd double tonight. A 3-hit ball game for the rookie, Jacob Gonzalez.
This double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty. Pretty good pitch. Change up, low and away, but he gets just enough of it to dump it inside the line. Well, at second base by Nate Tomlinson, and good hustle by Jacob Gonzalez.
All right, so you got your eyes, I see, on the Tigers Yankees game, the Rangers Guardian game. I am watching this Nationals Red Sox game. There were some fireworks in Boston as Wilson Contreras getting into it. The bench is cleared there.
Really unusual that he would cause something like that. He's always in the middle of just about everything that happens. That's followed him since his days with the Cubs.
Cade Cavalli struck him out, then had some words for him. He didn't like it. walked towards the mound. Both benches cleared. Actually took off his helmet. I think he attempted to throw it at the pitcher.
That's always a wise choice. That'll get you a few days where you're just not playing.
How about this? Tops off in Baltimore. Ooh, tough call there. Perez will go down looking.
That's not even close.
Teal swinging at the first one. As Alonso will flip to Suarez. With Gonzalez advancing to third with 2 down. Gotta figure out where they're getting these wizard hats from.
The Wizard store.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can't be a wizard without those caps.
Gotta find a holiday wizard cap for this 4th of July weekend coming up.
We need some cooperation from the weatherman in Cleveland. Looking ahead at some of the weather in the area, when it gets this warm, many times the storms will pop up.
A lengthy series, 4 games in Cleveland coming up against the Guardians.
This is the first time we will see the Guardians in Cleveland.
2-0 the count here to Miguel Vargas. And 3-0. Does he get the green light here?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Gonzalez with his leadoff double, now on at third. Grounded into the hole. Diving stop by Henderson to his feet. And just getting Vargas at first.
What a play that was by Gunnar Henderson. And he was out. They might take a look at it, but he's out by a half step, and a great play.
Of the game, others promise, Postman delivers.
What a play this was by Gunnar Henderson. He gets up very quickly, and true to his name, he guns it across to get him. Just an outstanding effort, robbing Miguel of a run batted in.
So Schweitzer, who pitched the 6th, will stay on to start this bottom of the 7th inning. As he faces 2, 3, 4 in the order for the Orioles. Taylor Ward had been the leadoff hitter for the Orioles. Dropped to the 2-hole here in this series. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Red Sox looking to win a series on the road to start this 7-game road trip. White Sox have lost 7 straight road series. They've been incredible at home at Wright Field, but a different story away from Chicago. Good slider. Schweitzer gets the strikeout. It is time now for Working on a Win, presented by Home Depot. We've been highlighting the offense, but we've got to show this bullpen some love.
Bullpen has just been great. The last 15 2/3, 21 strikeouts, only 1 run, 7 hits, 4 walks. Each and every guy coming out of there has gotten the job done. It's a final in Cleveland. The Rangers defeat the Guardians 4-2, so there's ground to be gained.
Good life on that fastball at 95 by Beavers.
You could tow a car with those laces, I think.
I was just thinking the same thing.
They're substantial.
It's a great word, substantial. Those are the kind of laces you got to wrap around the ankle a couple times.
Boy.
There's some hockey skates. 1-2. Lifted in the air to center field as Peters drifting to his left. And 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 7th. Pete Alonso ripped an RBI single back in the 5th inning. It was 109 miles per hour off the bat.
Tyler Schweitzer has been very good. And for the Sox, couldn't come at a better time, because you don't want to run through that bullpen in a game where you're leading by a substantial margin.
You've got to be alert when Alonso is in the box. He has hit some screamers into the stands.
Stay long enough, you get a souvenir. One of life's great joys.
0-2 pitch. Looking to get 2 innings out of Tyler Schweitzer here, as Alonso launches this one into left field. Perez at the warning track will make the grab. We go to the 8th here in Baltimore. White Sox up 9-3. Google Cloud, we take a look at the 3 hits tonight by Andrew Benintendi.
Almost in the same spot, and they're all on different pitches. A slider, a curveball, and a cutter. 4th 3-hit or more game that's tied for the most on the team.
Part of the order for the White Sox coming to the plate here to start this 8th inning. Congratulations is in order for Tigers manager A.J. Hinch, winning his career game 1,000 last night. And Dave Roberts goes for career win 1,000 with the Dodgers tonight. At the late game getting underway later in Sacramento against the A's. And if Roberts gets the win, he would be the fastest manager in Major League Baseball history to 1,000 wins.
That's pretty impressive.
That one sticks in the glove as Benintendi goes down swinging. Tune in to Picks to Click in the post-game show with Chuck and Ozzy. It's presented by the Bob Lacurcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. Dave Roberts has made a huge impact on Will Venable. He was his first base coach with the Padres when Venable was first called up. Taught him the ropes of how to be a baseball player, how to manage the outfield. And now as Will Venable has transitioned into being a manager, has leaned on Dave Roberts a lot and called on him when he has questions over the course of his career.
He had a lot of mentors, Bruce Bochy being one of them, who's one of the great managers and pretty much a sure Hall of Famer.
Colson Montgomery pops this one up as Beavers makes the catch for out number 2. All right, time for a trip down on the farm. We go to Connor.
All right, John, the White Sox have traded some farm hands. Ben Peoples, a AAA reliever, goes to Texas for catcher Ben Hartle. Hartle went to Heartland Community College with Sam Antonacci. The two won a D2 title with the Heartland Hawks in 2023. Matthew Boughton continues a very good run here. Look at the numbers in the month of June for the Matthew Boughton, for the shortstop for the Winston-Salem Dash, who's having a very good run. Was just recently Carolina League Player of the Week.
Some new names. I like this.
Yep.
You got a chance to pitch here under one of the all-time greats, Earl
did.
Weaver.
Number 4. That's one of the retired numbers here. And he was one of those managers. I mean, look, Will Venable has the enviable situation going because you don't have to like a manager, but you have to respect him, and the players both like and respect Will Venable. For Earl Weaver, I talked with him afterward. We did television together, and he said, you know, we should have been really good friends because we had a lot in common. I said, really? He said, oh, yeah.
Grounder up the middle. Sliding play by Henderson, but Alonso's foot off the bag, so Montgomery safe at first.
Another great play by Henderson. This one just pulling Alonso off. That's going to go as a base hit, unless they want to take another look at it. And they do want to take another look at it. Apparently they think that Alonso's foot was on the bag and that he got him.
Baltimore is challenging the safe call at first base.
But back to Earl, we had a lot of leaders on that team.
Real quick, this is a Northwestern Medicine Managers Challenge. We're taking a second look at the play. It's always a good idea to get a second opinion. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Looked like his foot was on the bag. Would be the second exceptional play by Henderson in this game.
All right, here's full speed. So Carlos Torres at first ruled that Alonso was off the bag.
And I love the fact that both Montgomery and Vargas hit that first base bag exactly how you have to hit it, with just your toe on the front of the bag.
Reading the lips of Pete Alonso, he thinks the call will probably stand.
Well, that would be fine. That would be the first hit of the night by Montgomery. Now right there the foot slips off, and maybe there isn't definitive proof, because normally when a first baseman thinks his foot's on the bag, he doesn't go back a second time. And Alonso did just that. He went back to the bag to try to tag it. And again, he's going to know better than anybody if his foot was on the bag. So we'll have to see.
Waiting for the decision from the control room in New York. The command center's looking at all the angles right now to see if they can determine that there is definitive proof the foot was on the bag.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. The runner is out. Baltimore will retain their challenge.
So after the challenge, that'll do it. Ray Montgomery is retired. White Sox down in order.
That's on to Cleveland for a huge 4-game series. The off day Monday before returning home against Boston and the Athletics.
That one is lined into center field off the bat of Basayo. So his second hit tonight. And that's how we start this home half of the 8th inning.
Getting back to the Earl story that was interrupted by promos and various appeals and things along those lines. So he said we should have been good friends because we had a lot in common. And I said, really, I was incredulous. But, okay, that was his opinion. But he said, I had to treat people a certain way as a manager.
Ground ball, this could be two. Montgomery starts it off. My drop over to first. Eminem up the middle. Turns the double play.
Pretty snappy double play, and just like that, there's 2 outs here in the 8th. It's our Steinhoffels double play. Steinhoffels donates $200 to Special Spaces Illinois for every double play. Double plays that make a difference, and that certainly does. It keeps it at a 6-run lead. Anyway, the story is turning into War and Peace. So he said that he thought to get the best out of players, he had to have the team band together basically against him.
Really?
Yeah, that's the way he felt. He said, I had to try to get the best out of everybody, and to do that, I wasn't out there to make any friends, and I thought if they banded together against me, they would be a better team. Well, he went to the Hall of Fame, so it must have worked out very well for him. And in those days, you could argue with the umpires, which he did a lot. And the fans would come out for the show because, I mean, it was unbelievable.
Good pitch by Schweitzer.
I remember he was talking with one umpire, something about a rules situation. Earl thought that he was right. He went back, got the rule book, and came back to the plate and started tearing up the rule book a page at a time. He said, you don't want to play by the rules? Okay. And he would throw him up in the air. And it was really entertaining. Nowadays, you don't have that, and the inning is over with the Sox maintaining their 6-run lead. That might have been the longest story told about Earl Weaver in the history of the sport.
But I'm glad you got it in. Action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner.
Rico Garcia coming out for the 39th time. The ERA a fine 2.60.
It has been all Sox here in Game 2 of this series against the Orioles. It was the big 7-run third inning, breaking this game open early. Colson Montgomery, he had a bomb in the third inning. That one is well hit, but lined to Alexander. First out here in the 9th inning.
Chase looking for his first hit of the night. He's got a couple of walks, scored a run. but hasn't been able to find a hole despite hitting this one about as hard as you can hit it.
White Sox obviously need 3 more outs to wrap this one up in the bottom half, but what has stood out for you so far about this game here?
Well, I love the fact that Eric Fetty was able to go 5, and I love the fact that Will went out there. Normally when he does, you mentioned that earlier, he usually goes out and takes out the pitcher. Just occasionally a manager will go out there, ask the pitcher a question. If he answers in the affirmative, and probably it was, you got enough to get this guy, because it was 4 2/3 innings. You qualify for a win after 5 innings. And he got the answer he was looking for, and Eric went out and made him look good because he got out of the inning. So that was one of the high points, that and the fact that boys hit the ball out of the ballpark tonight.
Changeup. That'll get Tristan Peters out number 2. I've enjoyed that Will Venable is not afraid to do things a little differently and trust his feel, trust his gut.
And what we're seeing is a guy who has been around the game his whole life. His father was a major league player. He was a major league player. He has been mentored by some of the best managers in the game. And Chris Getz thought enough after the interview process to turn over the managerial job to him.
This one a shot deep to center, and Cowser able to come away with that catch as Jacob Gonzalez put a charge into that one. We go to the bottom of the 9th.
Night of Jacob Gonzalez. 3 hits. Last 6 games he's just tearing it up. And they were all shapes, all sizes, and it ended with a fly ball that almost got out of the ballpark. So what a night for Jacob, what a night for the ball club. Bidding to win a series for the first time since when, May?
It's been a minute.
Something like that.
7 straight road series losses. Last road series the White Sox have come away with beginning of May, the 1st to the 3rd in San Diego. I've always said you got to get that foundation first and then build step by step. They have not been great on the road, but this could be a series that could change things around.
And that really is the last thing to come for a team that is starting to put it all together, learning how to win away from home.
Slow roller, and this one is going to hit the bag and stay fair. So an infield single for Blaze Alexander. White Sox are going to try and ask Tyler Schweitzer to finish this game off here.
It'd certainly be good if he can do this. Use only 2 pitchers in a very long ball game.
If he can pull it off, it would be his first career save. Jackson Holiday lifts this one into shallow left field. Perez will race and get there towards the line. Out number 1. We showed some love to the bullpen in our Home Depot Getting It Done segment, but I don't think we can give them enough flowers right now. What they are doing over this past week.
Well, they've been as close to unhittable as you can possibly be. Gunnar Henderson has had a very good night, not only with the bat, which is starting to come around, but with the glove with 2 spectacular plays.
Stare back to home plate umpire Mark Wegner.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because they don't have any challenges left. You can stare till the cows come home. It's still going to be a strike.
And Kyle Teal will tell his pitcher to step off. Henderson 2 for 4 tonight. Scored both times he has been on base. Off the end of the bat. This one a little easier play in left for Perez. And the White Sox a strike away from wrapping up this series. I mean, out away, excuse me. Had Fedde go 5, and with the early start tomorrow, Schweitzer trying to go 4 to close the door. So the White Sox will give Alexander second base. Defensive indifference. Well, they've got the wands to match the hats. Fly ball into center. Peters coming in, and that's gonna do it. White Sox will wrap up game 2 and will win this series against the Orioles. The first road series win since the start of May in San Diego. Loving how this White Sox team is looking right now.
And Schweitzer with the save. A good job over 4 innings. Sox sent 11 men to the plate in the 3rd. And that pretty much put it away. So you can see a full 2-game lead over the Guardians. And the only column that matters is the loss column. Those you can't get back again. Sox with 3 games up in the loss column and a 2-game lead overall with still a long way to go. So quick turnaround, get your rest, and we'll see if the brooms come out tomorrow.
How about that way to close out the month of June? The White Sox back-to-back winning months for the first time since 2021. And they will end June with a 2-game lead in the AL Central over the Guardians. It's a final. White Sox winning game 2 over the Orioles 9-3. For my guy Steve Stone, Connor McKnight, I'm John Schriffen. Thank you so much for spending your Tuesday night with us. Coming up after the break, stay locked in. White Sox postgame live coming up, presented by Yingling.